725 is a good squat, right? All right, boys, we got our breakfast. We've got 180 grams of 90-10 beef, 3 eggs, 2 bagels, and I'm supposed to have 40 grams of honey, but my honey is getting a little low and hard to squeeze out. So we did about 30 grams of honey, and it's all here. Did it all. It's right here. All right, boys, today is Monday, and Mondays for me are squat days, but I have to squat later on in the day, so I've kind of elected to move my the day that I do work that I don't get paid for to Mondays, where it's almost like building up my own, I guess, would it be brand or business or whatever. So I've got some things that I have to do weekly in order to like provide content for you guys, upkeep the Instagram, and write programs for clients. So I've got my to-do list, rather my action list. So first thing on that list was write an email to Elite FTS, because I will be on the Elite FTS Table Talk podcast upcoming August 12th. I don't know if this video is going to come out before then, but they basically had generic questions like bio, picture, shirt size, topic list, general things that a lot of podcasts will send guests. And then I also had dump 9 videos worth of recording, because I've been a very bad YouTuber and I have 9 videos sitting right there. They were on my phone, now they're on my computer, needed to be edited so that I can post them, and I can tickle your fancies, your little content balls, boys. Let you guys know that I'm not dead yet. So I knocked 2 things off my list. I gotta wrote the email. That was probably the fastest thing, and I was able to do that in conjunction with importing all the videos onto there. And so probably those were the quickest. The editing video is going to take the longest. So probably the most important things is to program for my clients this week. I've got 3 clients who need programs updated this week, so I'll be doing that right now. And yeah, and then I'll get to editing videos so I can stimulate your nipples, boys. We are done programming for the day. I programmed 4 weeks for one of my clients and 1 week for 2 of my clients, because they need a little bit more. One's coming right off of the meet, one's coming right off of the injury, so we need to be a little bit more fine-tuned with that in the progressions. Now we are on to doing editing videos, the stuff for you guys. And of course, because I'm trying to do a lot of things, my iMovie Apple exporter is not being successful in exporting the video. So I spent about the amount of time that it should take to do 3 videos on a single video, because I keep trying to export it and it's failing at the last second. So kudos to me. Why is my computer not restarting? Come on. Alright, we're gonna bring a flavor. Watermelon lime protein. Clear. Little fluffy. You see the head on that. We'll see. Like a solid head. I was not expecting that. That is tasty. That is tasty. It's like drinking a Gatorade. It is squat o'clock, motherfuckers. What do we have on the program today? Well, we've got our pre-fatigue work, so blah, blah, blah. Roller coasters, goblet squat holds. Then, my children. My redheaded, beautiful, little curly locked-haired little children that I'm very proud of to have birthed you, my children. We've got the reins taken off of us. We are allowed to look at vaginas once more. Boys, we're transitioning from sleeves to wraps. Ignore my hiccups. This is an epic monologue. This is a Bond evil villain level monologue about how I'm going to take over the world, and it's getting disrespected by the existence of these gosh darned hiccups. Boys, so every 6 months I do a flip-flop. I compete heavy, like 350s to 360s, in wraps, so I get the biggest total. And then 6 months later, I go back down to 320s, 330s, and I compete in sleeves. Sleeves are gay. And what did I say earlier? I'm allowed to touch vaginas once more. So that means Coach has programmed us. Wrapped squats, boys. 725 set of 5. Top set. We are in the phase of training where we are priming and peaking our CNS. Or kind of. We're like 16, 15, 14 weeks out at this point. These damn hiccups need to leave. So we are starting to get reacclimated to the reps. So a 12-week peak. We've got 2 weeks to reacclimate to the reps with lighter weights. 725 wicked light. If you're a man, boys. So we've got 1x5, 725, and then we've got some back downs. I believe it's a 2x5 at 665, maybe. Both wrapped up. Now I have 2 sets of wraps. I've got training wraps. I've got comp wraps. The training wraps I bought back in 2016, and I used them at every single meet, every single time I wrapped up, every single training session that I used wraps, every time I competed. My first 10-14 squat in comp was in these wraps that I bought in 2016. And if you're a gear whore, you know you need new wraps every 6 months. That's bullshit. So I've got those wraps. They are loosey-goosey. And by loose, they're stiff for standards of like gay sleeve people, but for the standards of people who squat heavy, aka the wrapped homies, they're in this stiff genre, but they're not super stiff. So we're going to be using those today. We have our other pair of wraps. So the loosey-goosey wraps, the red wraps, Unbreakable Gear Destroyers. That's the company and style of wrap. They don't make them anymore. Or not like the style that I have right now anymore. They are 3-meter long wraps. That's not legal in WRPF. Oops. I need to fix that by hitting new PR. But I swear when I bought them, they were 2.5 meters, but using them for, 8 years? Something like that, stretched them out to 3 meters. They're easier to get on, and only I can get them on my own. I can wrap myself and be strong. But the other wraps, the Unbreakable Gear Bulls, I can get 4 revolutions around my legs. That's 2.5 meters, 4 revolutions around my knee. And they are the stiffest wraps I've ever touched. It's awesome. I keep saying this stuff as if, maybe I should try bondage. I don't know. But we're using the red wraps, the loosey-goosey wraps, and we're saving the bowl wraps, the heavy wraps. When I wrap myself, I can get 4 revs. When someone else wraps me, like at the American Pro, Shane Haller wrapped me. He gets 5 revs. Shane's about 310 pounds. He can get 5 reps. So when I was peaking for the American Pro 2, I went down to a gym in Natick, Massachusetts, MetFit, and I hooked up with Dexter Bedeau. He is a 181 pound multiply natty, which those words should not be in a sentence, but when he wrapped me up, he got 6 revs, but also he chalked up, he nose torqued, he used tools, and he made an entire video about it. It was awesome. So 2 extra revs, pretty good. I was also severely ill while doing that, but I still squatted 970, but it was horrible. So we're using the red wraps. The accessories probably like contralateral split squats and sit-ups. So working that core, working the knee flexion, and build up the not tolerance, but flexibility in the knee. Boys, let's go squat. Woo, doggy boys. You ever have one of those days where you see one of your exes at a coffee shop and you get to talking and you're like, hey, let's hook up one more time? And she's like, yeah, buddy. And then you don't realize that she's gotten a little older and you've gotten a little older. So there's a lack of lubrication going on, and there's a lack of rigidity going on. So the insertion and penetration is not really a foregone conclusion, because y'all both got your own problems because you both got older. That, my dears, my boys, my children, is what today's squat day was like. Now, not to say it wasn't a good day. We still got our nut. It's our first day back in reps. And first day back in reps is a little bit of a different kind of thing. So wraps and sleeves are kind of like skateboarding and snowboarding. They're basically the same thing, but not at all. And you'd think, wow, support on the knees is a little different between one and the other. It's a whole different thing. So we warmed up. We did the bar. We did 2-plate, 4-plate, 6-plate, adding a little bit of equipment with every set after the 2-plate squat. So for 4-plate, we added the belt and knee sleeves, and for the 6-plate, we actually latched the belt while keeping the knee sleeves on. Then, first set, 725. Now, I want you guys to notice something real close, and that is the shading on the singlet, making my junk actually look quite nice. I appreciate Move Weight for sending me this new singlet, because I for the longest time I had said I will not wear a new singlet unless I earn one, because I believe that aesthetics is the peak of vanity, and if you want to be vain, you have to earn the opportunity, and through actions and achievements in order to be vain. And you can't just buy into that. That's why I don't like buying singlets. If I'm gonna wear a new singlet, I have to have earned it. And that's my viewpoint on everyone and their mother trying to match their singlet to their socks, to their shoes, to their All right, boys. I was explaining what was so I'm driving home, right? And it is 1 a.m. And I come to a stoplight and I get a green light, and immediately as the light turns green, people start crossing the crosswalk. And I'm slowly inching forwards, and a homie just decides to stop in the middle and try to start flexing on me, yelling at me, being like, what are you gonna do about it? What are you gonna do about it? At the perpendicular intersection, there was a cop who put on his lights and dealt with the situation for me. Fantastical. So anyways, 725, first set. First rep felt a little weird. It felt like my knee went in a weird direction. I felt like my feet rolled in my shoes. It was weird, and I had to take a little bit of extra composure to go into the next rep. There's so many cops turning on their light. It's all for that one guy. It's awesome. Second rep, little better. Tried to tighten things up. Third rep, tighten things up. Fourth rep, I'm feeling the pressure, and I'm trying to I'm trying my darndest to not be stressed by the pressure, because patience under the bar is one of the things that we've kind of worked on, time under tension. I've mentioned we've got this timer that kind of rolls down as you've got a weight in your hands or on your back, and the best way that you can kind of get around that is get stronger and increase your cardio so that you can do more reps and be a little bit better, more efficient. Clean up your form so you're expending less everything. Strengthen your core to kind of work on those stabilizers. So the last 2 reps were a little rougher than I would like, and one of the homies was like, what do you do to make sure you don't get bent over while you're squatting? And I'm like, I squat a lot. It's a struggle that I've had in the past, getting bent over and folded during squats. But I've really been, it's like safety squat bar, spider squat bar, and high rep squats. Those sets of 8, you build up a lot of fatigue. And if you get bent over and you get folded over, it really bites you in the ass, and it's not a good time. So really being strict with your form and optimizing the efficiency of you being able to do the lifts that you need to do in the proper manner with perfect form, you kind of gotta put yourself in a situation where it's gonna suck if you're not good. Because if you're fresh all the time, things are gonna go pretty easily. But if you are fatigued, you're biting the pillow because life's taking you a little raw, that's when you really find out what kind of a lifter you are. That's why people, their opener on squats or bench or deadlift look really pretty, but once they put over 95% and they're still thinking about their cues, things start to go bad very quickly. And because I believe that above 95%, your body just says, fuck your brain, we are doing muscle memory for this shit, and that's what we're tapping into. So we backed down and we did 675 2x5. That was programmed. The programmed back down. And then so set 1, I finished. I'm like, I'm a little queasy. I don't know how I feel about this. So I take the set, and immediately I'm stressing. I'm like, I need to get these wraps off real quick. But thankfully the homies lent a hand and released me from the wraps so that I could not be in wraps anymore, because being in wraps is awful. It's an experience that you have to learn how to be okay with if you want to be a successful powerlifter that squats in wraps, builds character. And it's probably why wrapped squatters have a lot of tenacious and stubbornness ingrained in them. So the moment I got those wraps off, I went outside and I puked my brains out almost immediately. So I cleaned off the beard and I'm like, wow, I don't feel queasy anymore. I actually feel a little better. So I think what was going on is the drink that I have 2 drinks. I've got a gallon of water, which, I mean, I throw Crystal Light in, and right now it's strawberry watermelon. And then I also have a carb drink. That's 3 scoops of Gatorade powder. And then I also throw in a scoop of animal aminos, juiced aminos. So I've got a lot of liquids going in me and my body is dealing with fluctuations in blood pressure because you're going from heavy squat to no weight on the back to this and that and whatever. And the more reps you do in a squat, the more the blood pressure goes. It's almost like a bicycle pump. You're like, and you're pumping the blood pressure up more and more and more. So the more reps you do, the higher your blood pressure gets and the harder it is to deal with that. And the harsher it's going to be when you re-rack that weight after you're done and you got to sit down. You're like, not sit down, but because you don't want to sit down. You release the blood, the wraps, you get more blood pressure. So after that second, was it the second or third? I don't really remember. I took the wraps off and I was like, whoa, because all the blood from my feet and my calves and everything rushed back up to my head. And I was like, whoa. So I puked after the first set of 675 for 5. And then probably my best set was that second set of 675 for 5. So the biggest thing that we really have to deal with when it comes to reacclimating to the wraps is reacclimating to the pressures. And it's the support is different. Sleeves are not like wraps. Wraps are not like sleeves. The support is different. And yeah. And also being off my meds is making my eyes feel like they're gonna burst out of my head because I get tension headaches, pressure headaches, migraines. It's just genetic. My dad he's on some sort of like injectable thing that fixes his headaches because they've been trying for years, not years, decades, really trying to figure out what's causing them. And mine were just tension and pressure headaches. But my roommate lied to me, told me I was on their health insurance, and when I tried to pick up my prescriptions, they were like, you've been taken off of this plan. I'm like, cool. So after we finished squats, we stripped the bar and I did a little poop check. Did not poop myself. Congratulations. Did not christen the brand new singlet with a fecal experience. But we did do a lot of procrastination afterwards. So I got to the gym at 7. It's currently 1 a.m. I was at the gym for 6 hours. The procrastination was just mindless doom scrolling because my roommate is back. She was at a group party with her team, which is all straight males, getting blackout multiple days in a row, and for 2 days in a row, got 0 updates, and I'm like, she's getting plowed. So I'm home. I was so relaxed and relieved those 2 days. I don't know if I should talk about this or not. The psychological stuff that she does to me, there's a reason I don't refer to her anything positive, because there's a lot of psychological damage that she's caused to me. I don't think I can ever truly trust anyone anymore, or rely on anyone, or have a genuine friendship or connection with anyone, because I've been so vigorously used. And some people have approached me and been like, you realize that what she's doing to you is I don't know if the definition is the legal definition lines up with it, but the psychological stuff that she's done to me and the psychological damage I've obtained through the interactions I've had with this person. Multiple people have come up to me and said, you realize that's technically domestic violence. So you think if there is a relationship or a couple, big, large, 350-pound, super strong powerlifter, and 110-pound female, and there's mention of domestic violence, who do you think is doing it? You'd think it's the guy, right? Yeah. You realize that it's a two-way street there, right? So I'm actually scared to go inside. So I procrastinated at the gym. I could have been in and out in 2, maybe 3 hours. I spent 6 hours at the gym. It's hard living with an alcoholic. I'll say that. Because you never know what person you're going to come home to. So it's too late for me to cook my dinner. So I'm actually going to bed without dinner tonight because I'm so terrified to go home and go inside. But I don't want to talk about this. So I'm gonna end the video here and probably I might even sleep in my car tonight. I've got my natty supplements I needed to take because it's important. Even if you are a natural athlete or an enhanced athlete means that you have to be doubly sure you're doing all the right things that a natty athlete should be doing in order to be the best version of themselves, because you've compromised your system a little bit, so you need a little more support. Juice doesn't make you a superhuman. It actually compromises your immune system a little bit. So, I'm going to go in. I have to go take my natty supplements. That's Leviathan Hemoflow, Leviathan IRE, Leviathan Kidney Support, and Leviathan TUDCA with turmeric curcumin, selenium, copper, D3K2, collagen C, fish oil, and ZMA. ZMA helps me go to sleep. There's a reason I have night terrors, and I've only developed night terrors recently because I'm never sure I'm actually going to wake up. I don't want to go inside, but, you got to do what you don't want to do in order to do the things that you do want to do. So, like, comment, subscribe. See you guys in the next one.